gosh. I can't believe I gotta do it this way. You gotta actually hold the phone. Yeah, we're gonna enjoy my keyboard right quick while I do some stuff real quick. I gotta make sure everything is running Gucci, you know? Oh look, it's me. Oh, holy. This laptop is really slow, I will say that. I'm trying to get it to actually work. I don't think it's gonna open Discord the way I want it to. Oh. See, I have it set to show chat, but it like doesn't with my phone, so I'm gonna have to like figure this out real quick. So let me if I mute my laptop, I can just pull up the stream myself. I can watch chat that way. Let me ding dongle it up. I can get Twitch pulled up here. No, pull up Twitch, you piece of shit. Oh, jeez, yeah. Chat test. Oh, it pops up on my screen itself. Oh. Okay, that's cool. I didn't know how it worked. It pops up on my phone itself, like on my phone screen. Okay, so I can actually see. Okay, well, as long as that works, that's what I wanted to know. I just need to go into my Twitch real quick and put it in the Discord. So, hold on. See. Look at that. Yes, I hope we're all, like, looking at my hand, because that's what I've had up this whole time. Okay, Discord, you want to work? Yes? Maybe? Oh, thank you. Okay, we don't need to see any of that. Give me a second. Laptop does not like having multiple tabs open. It's really finicky, so we love that. To go here. I click this. Control. You see my sin? Well, it wasn't really sin. Okay, so I got that up. I should be able to close Discord out, so this will run smooth. Okay. I have a Twitch stream up in the background because I was watching stuff and trying not to fall asleep. But yeah, we have to do it this way because phone's weird. At least it's not my Reddit. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. Hello, we have 3 people. We're gonna go ahead and start this. Yeah, I can't really show it because, you know, I mean, if you want to know who it is, they're called Alloway. They're playing Overwatch and Smite. They're a VTuber. They're really cool. But so we have our categories over here of nut. It's decent. Sure, why not? I mean, okay. And who the fuck? Obviously reserved for who the fuck made this, who watched it, like who actually enjoys it, and why is it a thing? That's what we do. So. Yeah, I don't know about that. That's you. But we're gonna start with Akira. Animated movie, really, really great. It was great. You're here, homie. Yes, Hikaru. You're gonna see me do 83 anime. But Akira, definitely it's decent. It's amazing. The art style is great. I love the bikes in it that they used. It's great. I'm gonna see if I can hold my phone a bit closer so we can see it better. But yeah, Akira, amazing. Akuma no Riddle, also extremely decent. It is great if you like uh basically a classroom of people trying to kill each other. If you want to think about it kind of like Assassination Classroom, but like this one's got a little more probably I haven't seen Assassination Classroom, but I assume this one's got a bit more kind of gorish, bloody in it. It's it's really cool, and the storyline's actually really decent, and so is the art and the voice acting. Yes, 83. There are a lot. Um, the Animatrix, like they're like side stories that refer to the Matrix that are like animated CG and normal animation style. Who the fuck? Honestly, it was it's trash. I no, I would not watch it again. If you haven't seen the Matrix, you probably won't understand a lot of the stories in the Animatrix, but like which is part of the reason why I probably didn't like it, because I couldn't sit through the Matrix in the first place, and then having this Animatrix version, yeah, I didn't like it at all. Just no. um Appleseed, so Appleseed was a CG like futuristic anime. It was all right. It's in a sure why not category because it's one of the more decent CG style type anime. Because a lot of CG anime to me is complete and utter garbage because I hate the way it looks. Uh, Battle Athletes Victory, that is a nut category. It's one of the older animes. Most of these animes are gonna be kind of old. The ones I've watched. Battle Athletes Victory. Your basis is you're a bunch of different athletes. It's all girls, by the way. Only the women, and they're all competing in like these Olympic sports. And the ending has one of the weirdest twists I've ever seen for the reason why they hold like these Olympics every year and choose the top person. But it's great. It's decently long. I think it's like 20 something, 26 episodes. And they did do a remake of it, but I don't really like watching remakes because it's just going to be the same premises. I do know the remake graphics do look pretty nice and everything. Now, Blood Rain, Curse of the Yoma. Who the fuck? Honestly, it was garbage. I know Hikaru, watched that one. We watched that together, and it kind of threw you in with no story at all, and it really didn't make a whole lot of sense. It was pretty trash. It just wasn't there. Okay, so we have Blue Gender, the animated series. It's decent. It is a mecha anime that deals with war and a lot of what's morally correct and wrong and how that affects the people. Um, and they're fighting giant bugs, literally. Um, it's like 26 episodes. With that, they had the Blue Gender Warrior movie. Okay, the Warrior movie was literally a movie that condensed all 26 episodes down into like an hour and something length. Okay, now with this, what they did was they used old scenes and added new scenes to it, and it actually stopped like probably within technically where the last 10 episodes or so would be, and made that the alternate ending, which was kind of like it's okay if you don't want to watch a whole series and you don't want to have the time to sit there and watch that, watch the Warrior movie. But other than that, the Warrior movie is not okay. Broken Saints. Broken Saints is a comic saga animated thing. Complete garbage. The plot of it is complete jank. It throws you around between stories and how the people are linked to each other too much, and there's not a lot of explanation. It's random. It's horrible. Basically, watching Broken Saints is just kind of like listening to an audiobook, but watching someone flip through the pages. But it's bad. It was bad. Um, then we have Chance Pop Session. Now, this is like an idol type of anime. Um, between three girls. They're all linked in some way. If you watch the anime, you'll find out. I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, all three of these idols are linked together, and it's a decent watch. Like, it's got a good storyline. It's got great plot. Voice acting is great. Obviously, it's an older one, so the graphics look a lot different. Gotta grab something. Better grab these nuts. Let's see here. What else do we got? We have Action Heroine Cheer Fruits. This is also a really decent one. It was one that was sub only for me though, which is the only reason I didn't like some parts of it. Though it is only 12 episodes. But for Cheer Fruits, basically you have a group of girls who like this like action heroine character, alright? And all these like different schools and stuff have like their own groups, and they want to participate, and they do. So it's got some sad backstory to it, and it's got plenty of happy moments, and it's just it's kind of like a feel good anime, you know, for the way things kind of go into it. We have C, Control of Money and Possibility. This was a really good one. So if you want to think about this kind of like how Kakaguri is, with how they gamble and stuff. So in Control, they go into they get things called these Midas cards, and there's things called Midas money, and that stuff can be bad in the real world, and it happens to get in there. But you use your Midas card, and you can transfer to like this world kind of area, and you have like stands kind of. So if you want to think about JoJo a little bit with that, yeah, and they gamble that way. And technically, you can gamble your life away within it. So it's kind of like Kakaguri. I haven't seen Kakaguri though. I do have the manga for it, and it's decent so far. So we have Bubblegum Crisis. Now, with Bubblegum Crisis, technically, there's more than just Bubblegum Crisis itself. There is AD Police Files, Bubblegum Crisis, and then Bubblegum Crisis Total Crash. They're all in the same universe. AD Police is the prequel, not even prequel, because it's just before Bubblegum Crisis in the first place. But yeah, you'd want to watch it in the order of AD Police, Bubblegum Crisis, and then the Bubblegum Crisis Total Crash. Might have to watch some of these. Yes, there's 83 of these to review, Logan, so you might have a little list to watch of stuff. It's kind of like cyberpunk-esque, but like older style cyberpunk, and it's pretty gory. It is indeed a bunch of gore in it, and it's got a lot of blood and action. It does have 80 Police has more references to RoboCop, entailing with that one. Then we have Cyber City. It's also called It's called like Obedo 808. This one's also another like futuristic kind of like cyberpunk-ish deal with older style. It's a sure why not. It is a here, I can just do this. It's decent for what it was. Basically, you have your three prisoners who are getting a reduced time for helping the police. Granted, there are other forces that are working against them, and all they're trying to do is, get free. But, it's not as easy as just that. Let's see, we have Darker Than Black. So Darker Than Black has 2 seasons. Season 1 wasn't as good as Season 2. Season 2 of Darker Than Black is really good. Darker Than Black, as much as I want to put it in the nut category, I feel like it should be in a category between nut and decent, because Darker Than Black was really great. I liked the lore in it can be confusing to some people because they don't explain too much in the first season for it. Most of it is explained in the second season of how the stars are fake. All the stars in Darker Than Black aren't real in the sky. The stars correlate to people called contractors. Now, the contractors are people who have powers, and they must pay a price to use their power. And it's random. You don't get to choose what your price is. So say someone has the ability to like freeze water and turn it into shards or something. Or after they use their power, they'd have to say, I don't know, smoke a cigarette, maybe eat the cigarettes or like smell some weird object or do something weird. That's how prices for powers work. There was a big explosion that happened at one point in a city, and they're trying to figure out the cause of it because there's a lot of how should I say, paranormal stuff happening around it. So they're trying to figure all that out. And Hei, his name's Hei, it's Hei. Him and Yin, so Yin is the girl with the white hair, and she is a doll. Dolls don't have souls, they're literally just empty shells of people who are used. Yeah, there's a lot of Yin in season 2. A lot of it revolves around her, and there are some OVAs in it too that bridge the gap between some of the explanations between season 1 and 2. Next, we have High School of the Dead. High School of the Dead, it's decent. If you like zombies, blood, and lewd, and booba, High School of the Dead. That's all I gotta say. Just booba and zombies. It's great. It's great. Then we have Dirty Pair. Dirty Pair is a nut. So, Dirty Pair is, it's one of the very older animes. I only watched it in sub. It's like 24 episodes of sub only. Holy hell, was that wrecking my brain to read. But they're literally just two girls who are part of a police force, and they're called the Dirty Pair because they just screw everything up constantly. And I mean constantly they screw everything up. And it's hilarious. So it's like an action comedy if you like that kind of stuff. DNA Squared also goes to the It's Decent category. DNA Squared it's a rom-com. There's a dude called the Playboy. He becomes like the Playboy in the future, just fucking everyone, quite literally. And so the girl here is sent back in time to try and stop him, but we all know other things happen. It's not very lewd, it doesn't show like nudity a whole lot and stuff like that. It's just your basic rom-com, but it's really decent for a watch. Next we have the Dragon Ball Super Brawly movie. It was decent. I'm not like the biggest fan of Dragon Ball and stuff, but the Super Brawly movie, it was the first one. It was really good. I liked the action of it. I may not have understood like story, and I didn't pay too much attention to it because I was doing other things while it was being played on the Discord with Hikaru. But it was great. Action great, nice. It's Dragon Ball. I mean, come on. We have Dual Parallel Trouble Adventure. So, this one's going to go in the It's Decent. There's going to be a lot of It's Decent categorized stuff. So, Dual Parallel Trouble Adventure right here. This kid sees, like, mecha just out in the open world, but no one else can see them. And all of a sudden, like, buildings kind of, like, collapse occasionally, and it's just, like, rumored as, oh, it's earthquakes or stuff. Well, that's not true. A girl realizes that he can see these mechs because he's not supposed to, and then he gets sucked literally into a parallel dimension world where these mechs actually exist, and like stuff happens with the mechs. Obviously, he's gonna have to pilot them. He doesn't want to. Obviously, it's kind of like a Neon Gen kind of figure in that sense. And honestly, the best character from this, her name is D, and she's literally like an android, and she doesn't know how to like focus and work around people. She doesn't understand people, and she's, like, adorable. It is fantastic in that sense. Dusk Maiden of Amnesia it's decent. So, Dusk Maiden of Amnesia is an anime that is a romance with murder mystery. They're trying to figure out why the main character, this girl, she's just one of the main characters, how she died. Literally trying to figure out how she died, and main character is like falling in love with her. It's got funny moments. It's labeled as horror. It's not really scary though. Like there are some instances towards the end where it kind of gets that way, but other than that, it's pretty good. Engaged to the Unidentified. That's a nut. It's cute. It's amazing. So girl gets engaged to quite literally this dude, but like. There's something with the dude and his little sister that she doesn't know. They have, like, these powers. They're not exactly the same as her or everyone else in the household. They have to, like, live together. It's romance. It's comedy. It's a little great watch, Let's see here. What else do we got? Oh, Full Metal Panic. Nut. Full Metal Panic. Nut. Yes, Full Metal Panic. The watch order for Full Metal Panic would be you watch Full Metal Panic Famofu, Full Metal Panic the Second Raid, and then Full Metal Panic Invisible Victory. The only thing I don't like is that it's technically an unfinished anime with the 4 seasons it has, because the 4th season leaves off at a cliffhanger, and it irritates me. But it's all mecha, very actiony. The first season is a little slow, but it starts taking off. In between season 3 and 4, you will notice a big animation jump, because in between those there was a 13-year gap because the original company could not produce it anymore and they kind of went bankrupt. And then another company picked it up after that, and they got straight to like the action and the story. They didn't do a lot of the other random side story plot stuff. They got straight into the action, as they said. Problem was they left it off of a cliffhanger, and then it's been like 5 years or so since that. So we have no idea if we're gonna actually get that ever finished. The manga is finished though. The ending is exactly the way everyone kind of wanted it to be, so at least that part's okay. Gantz goes in the who the fuck category. I never even watched Gantz. I tried to watch the first episode, got 10 minutes in, and then started getting motion sick. Because the way they pan the camera is god awful, the animation's horrible, everything looks really bright and washed out. I wouldn't recommend Gantz to anybody. I do know that Gantz is really fucked up, though. It's a lot of gore, there is nudity, there's a lot of weird shit in it. It is, oh, it's awful. Yeah. Gasaraki. Gasaraki is another mecha anime. It's kind of like samurai mecha. I know it's not going to look the best because I have my phone looking at the laptop. But, yeah, they're like samurai mechs. And the plot's really janky, kind of. Not a lot of things are explained very well until they get to the end and you realize, oh, this part of the family's doing this, the other part of his family's doing this and that. And it got kind of confusing, and it's very, very slow. So, I mean, it's aight. So, that's Gatekeepers. So, Gatekeepers is a sure why not, and Gatekeepers 21 is also sure why not. So, Gatekeepers, first season, and then you have the second season. Gatekeepers is, quite literally, these kids are all traumatized, so they have some special abilities with their traumatization. So, they can open these gates with their powers. There is one who's using his powers for evil, and basically they're trying to figure out who that is and unmask him. And the gatekeepers are meant just to like save the city and the world from these weird aliens that are just dudes that have like fedora hats and black suits. It's weird in that sense. Gatekeepers 21, the second season, has different characters, except for like one or two that show up. But the second season was much better. I will say that. It is an interesting watch. Okay, so I know this is an anime, but it's Godzilla the animated series, and I mean it's just a sure why not. It was like the first one I watched and then did a review of. 40 episodes. It's more like a cartoon than anything. It would be classified as like an American cartoon, honestly. The only reason that, like, it could be decent, it could be, but the only reason it's in a sure why not is because all the scenes and the episodes become the same. Go here, fight. Oh no, summon Godzilla, fight. Next monster. Oh no, kind of that kind of thing. We have Gravion. So Gravion is another mecha. It has 2 seasons. It's a sure why not. It's just kind of basic. Honestly, it's lewd though with how a girl. There is one girl who has to like lay down in her mech, kind of like Diva does, except it like showcases her tits and ass, and like there's your lewd aspect. And the story's a little weird at first because it doesn't kind of make sense. But it starts to. A lot of the anime that I put in the sure why not is because the plot doesn't make sense, but then they kind of pick it up, but they pick it up a little late. Yeah, it's more mecha. Saving the Earth. A lot of mechas that way. We have Gunslinger Girl. This will go into it's decent. Now, the first season of Gunslinger Girl, the color and the animation is very bland. Everything's a lot of like gray, brown, and green toned for its colors. When they switch over to season 2 of Gunslinger Girl, the animation is ramped up. There's a lot more color in people, and the animation's a lot smoother. It's a lot better. But for it, these girls are these like little girls, like these like literal children, are like created and trained to be like assassins. That's it. So there's quite a bit of action. There's a lot of story. There are some parts where it's very slow, but the action is great. And again, season 2 is a lot better. Like, you could watch season 2 of Gunslinger Girl and get the story without having to watch season 1. Gunsmith Cats. Now, this goes into the nut category. I've watched this one with plenty of people. I know I've watched it with Hikaru. So, Gunsmith Cats. 2 girls. They're like police officers, slash detectives, and they also run like a gun store and everything. And it's comedy and it's action. It's only 3 OVAs, so it's only 3 episodes long, but it's great. It's action packed. There's comedy in it, and the animation is just superb. It is fantastic. Let's see. Oh, Happy Lesson. Happy Lesson. It's decent. Kid doesn't have parents. He moves back into his childhood home, and then his 5 high school teachers adopt him and become his parents, and they all live together. It's literally a comedy. There's a little bit of lewd / incest joking in it, but none of them are related in whatever sense. You can still see where it's the taboo subject, but it's pretty funny. It's a funny comedy for the most part. There is a season 2, but finding an English version of that is damn near impossible. Yes, Gunsmith Cats was freaking gorgeous. Okay, so we have Heavy Metal and Heavy Metal 2000. So, Heavy Metal 2000 goes into its no, my bad. Heavy Metal, decent. Heavy Metal 2000 goes to sure, why not. Heavy Metal is an adult anime. If you've watched South Park, the episode when they're like huffing cat piss, the hallucinogenic scenes used in that are directly ripped from Heavy Metal, but slightly edited. It's an anthology series for Heavy Metal for the first one of anime. It's got nudity, it's got gore. What else do you want? And there's plenty of action, it's fantasy. Now, Heavy Metal 2000, the animation style is different, so it looks more, the animation looks kind of more like cartoon-ish, kind of like, I'm trying to think of what cartoons it would be kind of like for the animation. Like Generator Rex, Ben 10, that's the kind of animation style they went for. There's a lot more nudity than the first Heavy Metal in it. There's still your normal amount of action and gore, though, and they're both futuristic and fantasy. Hellsing. Hellsing is a nut. I have not seen Hellsing Ultimate. I do know the storyline is different in it, but Hellsing itself, yes. I know a lot of people like to watch Hellsing abridged rather than the normal one. Abridged anime, I will say, is a lot funnier than actual anime, but just. It's just great. It's great. Come on. Who doesn't love a man who's, like, immortal practically, and a vampire, and also secretly something else, slaying people and protecting a home? Castlevania, cough, cough, more Dracula shit. You know what? I still haven't seen that. Oh my gosh, I forgot one. Hikaru, I still haven't reviewed Ghost Stories, have I? I forgot about Ghost Stories. Ghost Stories is a nut, though. Ghost Stories fucking abridged is the most amazing shit. It is fantastic. Ghost Stories would be up here in nut if I had it down here. I forgot about it. I still haven't reviewed it. Ghost Stories is great. Everyone needs to watch Ghost Stories abridged. Okay, so what do we have? Okay, so this is a hentai. It's called Sexy Sailor Soldiers. It is a hentai. I do review hentai if I have it on disc. It's gonna go in who the fuck category. There is an R word scene. If anyone doesn't know what the R word is, it's basically the word that's when someone forces themselves on someone in a adult manner. I'll say that. There's a scene like that in there. So, and I don't prefer to watch those scenes. And then so who the fuck category. We have Neon Genesis Evangelion. Neon Genesis Evangelion, it's really decent. So, if you want to watch some fucked up shit with mecha, Neon Genesis,
The hidden message that's behind Neon Gen is literally love yourself. That's literally the message in it the whole time, and these kids are mentally fucked in it. But it's mecha. There's action. Some scenes drag out really, really long. Like the cicada scene at the train station went on for like 5 minutes of hearing cicada noises, and I hated it. But it's pretty decent for its action and everything. Key the Metal Idol. Key the Metal Idol is very decent. So Key is literally a metal robot cyborg, and all she wants to do is be an idol and live her life. But obviously, everyone else treats her like shit, puts her down, and whatnot. And there are some very depressing scenes and stuff in it, and she does not know how to handle life because she doesn't have real emotions, but she kind of learns to gain them. She's got a hard life, honestly. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, we've got Nurse Witch Kamugi R. So it's decent. There are some problems with it, though. So Nurse Witch Kamugi R. Originally, it stemmed from an anime called The Soul Taker. Now, The Soul Taker's on here. We'll get to that later. But there was an original spin-off just called Nurse Witch Kamugi that came with it. They did like a remade version, because I've never seen the original, called Nurse Witch Kamugi R. Animation looks a lot different. It's a lot better. And doesn't have the same plot line as what Soul Taker did. Because Soul Taker had a character called Kamugi, and they gave her own spin-off, which was this. So it's basically Magical Girl. The only thing I don't like about the Magical Girl anime aspect and what they do with some of it is the fact they make some the stuffed animal type characters that like follow them around. They make them highly fucking perverted, like very perverted, and I'm like, okay, that doesn't need to be in there. So that's a downfall to that. Kotaro Lives Alone is a nut. It was released on Netflix. It's literally a little boy who moves into an apartment, and he lives all by himself. And his neighbors, learn about him, and they make friends with him, and they help him, live his life throughout the apartment and everything. I'm hoping a season 2 of it comes out because it's great. It's a really good, wholesome anime, and people need to watch it. We have Love Live. Now, I only put Love Live School Idol Project on here because I've seen Love Live School Idol Project and I've seen the Love Live Sunshine. I still need to see the Over the Rainbow movie and the other Love Live series they have. But Love Live is literally just School Idol. It's School Idol anime. That's all you need to know. Underdog stories. It's that basic, but it's really great. Characters are lovely. Magicano is another magical girl anime, which will go in the sure why not category. Again, there's perverted characters in it that are like stuffed animals because I don't know why that seems to be a trope in magical girl anime. It's funny though. It's mainly a comedy. It's basic for that. Majestic Prince is a nut. This is a space mecha anime. Yes, you heard that right. Space mecha. These kids basically are thrown into this military force that's in space. Space Force. And they're protecting this giant satellite-like world from invading aliens. It's cool. The fight scenes are like slightly CG animated, but they're really amazing. They did a really great job animating fights and movements. We have MFKZ, also known as Motherfuckers. This was one I watched on Netflix. It is an anime movie. How to describe this? Action packed, lots of language in it, and it's, bro, being in the wrong place at the wrong time is what this anime is, for how the character goes around his day, and it's great. It is an amazing watch. It is nut worthy. Moon Phase. I mean, honestly, it could go between sure why not and okay, but I'm gonna put it in the okay. Moon Phase is pretty basic. There's a photographer who can see paranormal things. He sees this girl at a castle, and she tries to like enslave him, but she kind of can't because she's weak sauce. And she wants to be free from the castle and everything and roam life. And she does end up living with him, and it's a comedy. It's kind of a rom-com, but it gets really slow at times. There's action, fight scenes, and whatnot, and paranormal stuff, but it's just okay. We have... Sometimes I cannot see these at all, and I'm trying to think of what they are. I don't know which one that is. I'm trying to figure it out. Give me a second. I'm just gonna open up my files real quick and take a look. Because I have them all labeled in here for what they are, but I can't exactly see everything perfectly because everything's kind of small on here. And I don't know how to enlarge everything the way I kind of need it to be. So give me a second here while I scroll through this just to check what it is. I want to make sure I don't wrongly label something. Where is it? I seem to be having trouble figuring out what this one is. I'm trying to look at the icon pictures. There's a kid with brown hair in the corner of it. It's not Air. 'Cause I know Air is a different one. Huh. It'd be weird if it wasn't in the tab. 'Cause I'm not seeing it. Oh, here we go. I found it. So this one is... Oh, okay. I figured it out. So this one is Martian's successor, Nadesco. It is a decent one. It's got some mecha action in it and everything. Basically, they're on this giant ship called the Nadesco, and it's another kid who doesn't know how to pilot mechs and everything, but he's needed because he has hidden power within him. It's great. Some of the characters are really cute in it, and it's good. It also has a movie called Dark Prince, which is after the series. The movie's not as good as the series, kinda. It doesn't explain anything. Like, if you were to pick up the movie and you didn't realize it was part of a series, you could kind of get the basis of the story, but you wouldn't understand much. Basic mecha, protect the world. That's just a lot of mechas, protect the world. Speaking of mecha, there's going to be more mecha soon. Okay, so we have Najima. There are two separate versions of Najima. Right here. They're both going to go in the I mean okay category. Both Najimas are practically almost the same. They have just slight different alteration storylines. One of them is more focused on the kid who was a professor who was teaching the school magic, and that was more comedy based. And the story is pretty linear with that. The other version of Najima is the animation style is completely different. First of all, a lot of the dialogue's the same. Episodes almost run the same, except one of the classmates is evil, and that's the other storyline, and they're trying to deal with that situation. So they're okay. I didn't watch the second version because I knew it was all going to be the same. And once you realize most of the dialogue and everything is almost the exact same too, it's like it's like rewatching it, and I didn't want to do that. Wait, here we go. Did I mess one? I think I got one wrong by accident. Did I? I don't think I did. I know I literally talked about Neon Genesis, but I see the picture right here for Neon Genesis, which is the It's Decent tab. Oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. I mix it up. Yeah, okay. So there's Neon Genesis. I already talked about it. My bad. This is Howl's Moving Castle. Howl's Moving Castle goes into the nut category. Howl's Moving Castle. Studio Ghibli film, great animation, fucking lovely storyline, and Howl is hot. You can't tell me otherwise. You can't tell me otherwise. I gotta scroll down here a little bit. So we have Noir. Noir is a sure why not. So Noir can be very slow, literally as it says. It's like a noir style type anime, detective kind of thing, monologuing, and there's action. There's plenty of action. There's two main characters. They're both females. They're both basically trained assassins, but one of them's like very cold-hearted. She's almost robotic-like, but she's human, and she's trying to unlock her past. She doesn't know a lot of her past or anything. She just knows what she's like trained to do. If someone doesn't like Howl's Moving Castle, I can't trust them. I mean, you're right. Slave Princess Olivia. It's obviously a hentai. There's monster R word scenes and other R word scenes. It's garbage tier. Don't watch it. Orphan. So this is the original Orphan, not the remake. So the original version of Orphan it's literally just fantasy. It's fantasy with action and comedy with a little bit of romance in it. It's got 47 episodes, so there's two seasons. It's Orphan and then Sorcerer Stabber Orphan. You gotta really make sure you're looking at the right one because the remake one's also just called Sorcerer Stabber Orphan. But his name's Orphan and it's spelled like that too. But he also is an orphan. It's kind of weird the way they did that. But yeah, it's fantasy. It's got lots of action. It's got comedy. It's decent. That's a lie, Hikaru. You know you like Howl's Moving Castle. All right, we've been over this. We've been over this. I wish I could make this bigger, but there's like so much crap on the screen I can't. Pandora in the Crimson Shell. It's decent. Pandora in the Crimson Shell is also made by the same person who did Ghost in the Shell. This one is more based around kind of magical girl-ish, but not completely magical girl. Comedy, action. The only thing I did not like about it was how they did the Pandora Box special move. They're both android characters. Hold on, I am getting a call. Give me a second here. Hold on, I'm gonna leave my phone right here. Hold on, I gotta go do something real quick. Alright, I'm back. I had to go talk to my mom real quick. How's the weather? Stupid. That's the weather. But yeah, so the way it worked for Pandora and the Crimson Shell, can you focus? So the way it worked for this anime was they're both cyborgs. They're literally like full-bodied cyborgs. The way they used the power was she would open up her nether regions because she's a robot and there's nothing inside there, and she would put her hand in there and open the power. That's the only part I didn't like, besides the weird sexual character too. Yeah. Plastic Little. Plastic Little is decent. It's an animated movie. I'd say it's more adult oriented. It was it was the first anime to come out with a option in the settings called a jiggle counter that would put it up on the screen and it would count how many times the character's boobs jiggled. There's a total of 49 boob jiggles in it. I have memorized it because I've seen it enough times. It's comedy. It's comedy with action and it's hilarious. Yes, Pandora and the Crimson Show. I know that's what your what is too. Yeah, it's a little weird. Princess 9. So, okay, I can't scroll up, so I'm gonna have to like do it this way. I'm about to put things there. Princess 9 is a nut. So, underdog baseball story. I'm not a huge fan of sports anime, but I kind of got into it when I realized there's specific ones that are very good. It's extremely underdog story. Basically, these nine people who they're all in different sports, different demeanors, how they operate, and go about their lives, and they all come together to form this all girls baseball team to compete against the guys because they want to show them that they can play too, and they do. And the overall story is that they have 3 years to win the championship or their team is disbanded. Now, the season only goes through like 1 year, technically like one season of baseball, and you'll see what happens in the end. I wish there were more seasons of it to continue based on how the ending was. Alright, we have a very private lesson. This was labeled as a hentai, but it's actually not a hentai. It looks like it, sounds like it, but it's not. This teacher saves a girl from kind of being kidnapped and this weird creepy dude. So she becomes infatuated with him, but he wants nothing to do with her in a romance sense. But he basically gets blackmailed because her father's a mobster and says that he needs to protect her or things are going to happen to him. So she kind of tries to make advances on him in some sense, but she's also like underage. She's 16 in the anime. And obviously the teacher dude's an adult. But he wants nothing to do with her. The dude just wants to be wholesome and like just not die, so he needs to protect her. Yeah, someone did turn it into a hentai. Someone did edit it, and there is a video out there where there is like technically a hentai version of it. It's not no, but if you want to watch it for just the aspect of like seeing that it's actually like slightly wholesome because the dude's just doing his job in here and not doing anything wrong, yeah. But I mean, it was only like 3 episodes or so. It's kind of boring-ish, but yeah. So Knights of Ramoon and 40 Fresh, that it gets an I mean okay. First of all, this is so close to being a hentai with some of the scenes in it. Hikaru also bought this for me, and he had no idea it was going to be like this. Because the description on the back of it and how Knights of Ramoon is, it seems like it's just a fantasy action anime. This had nudity in it, it had some sex scenes, it was almost hentai, but it wasn't because it didn't show like full-length things. Also, the villain dude up here is a major asshole, and he kind of ruined it with the way he acted, but I know you were so surprised when I told you. I was like, did you know it's like almost hentai? And you're like, wait, what? I don't know if the rest of Knights of Ramoon is like that, because I know there's a whole lot of different series for it. Redline the movie. Alright, we're gonna have to like move this all the way up. Redline the movie is a nut. It is a like futuristic racing anime with action in it. Anime superb. The way the motion works and everything with speed, great. The weird action that it starts taking in the middle of it too with Big Boy, freaking great. Totally unhinged, and it is great. Like yes, Redline made you Juice, what are you doing? My dog's just over here just crawling over me. Juice, are you being a menace and licking the bowl? Come here. Come here. Little Juice. Little Juice. Little Juice. You're on camera, Juice. I caught you lacking in 4K nonetheless. In 4K. Alright, let's see what else we got. Don't mind all this crap down here. I have to use the site for this. Alright. Let's see. What are we getting into now? I know there's 2 of the Robotechs right there, but I'm trying to find the first Robotech. Because I want to put them all in the same category at once. Because they all kind of go in the same area. Where's the first Robotech? Because there's part 2. There's part 3. That's First Squad, Scurry, Seven Voice, that's Sister Princess, Rated Wayne, that's Dale Angel. I seem to be missing Robotech, the first one. I could have swore I had it. Let me take a look here. Yeah, I think I'm definitely missing some of them. Some of them definitely did not load through for some reason. Yeah, I'm missing quite a bit of them on here. I don't know how I would fix that and just load it in. I don't know how I would just add them in straight up, because there are some that are definitely missing here. Picture file or size? Yeah, because I'm definitely missing some of these. I know I'm missing Blue Seed off of here. And I'm missing the first Robotech. I'm missing Kite Liberator. I'm trying to see what else I'm missing on here. I don't think Mazinger Z's on here either. Yeah, I'm missing Mazinger Z also. Yeah. Yeah, the first Robotech's not there. I think I'm also missing Taisho Baseball Girls. No, it's right there. Yeah, I'm only missing a couple, so I guess I can just kind of... I guess it'll be fine. Why are you whining? Okay, I guess we'll just continue like this way. So, Robotech, I'm going to put both Season 2 and 3 here because they're technically labeled different. We'll just classify Season 1. So, Season 1 of Robotech is called the Macross Saga, then you have Season 2 called The Masters, and then you have Season 3, which is New Generation. Originally, Robotech was not allowed in America. Robotech was originally Japanese-made, and America wanted it, but they couldn't just have Robotech itself. Like, it wasn't originally called, like, Robotech either, technically. So, what they did was they made 3 different versions of Robotech. Like, they took 3 different animes, labeled it all Robotech, and then split it up into 3 different things. The stories do correlate to each other, but here's the thing. You could watch them in any order, and it wouldn't really matter for the storyline, because it all kind of comes back. Like, when you watch Season 3 and you finish it, which is the New Generation, at the end it tells you, oh, you want to figure out how that all came to be? Watch the first season. Like, you could literally just watch them out of order, and it won't matter. Robotech, the first season, fuck Min-Mei, fuck Kyle, they're both stupid. There's also some incest in it, because Kyle's a weird ass, and Min-Mei's just stupid. Funnily enough, the anime is not based in Japanese either. I think it's in America because they go to Japan at one point in the anime, and Min-Mei and Kyle, the only Japanese people in the film. Everyone else is American. Season 2 was okay-ish. Dude had a daughter. One of the characters did. Man's fucked an alien. And then Season 3 is just kind of... It's not even more alien-based. It's more based around the humans and stuff, but... It's okay. So, the first squad, The Moment of Truth, is a Sure Why Not. This is actually a Russian anime, believe it or not. It's also, like, documentary style at the same time. It's a little weird. The reason that it's just a Sure Why Not is because I didn't really care for the documentary style type parts. Like, it was fine if you want to learn stuff. Yeah, I'm not, like, a huge documentary person unless it's about, like, deep sea stuff. But it's got, you know, lore about war and stuff like that. It's got action in it, you know. Shiguri Death Frenzy it's decent. Now, Shiguri Death Frenzy is very confusing with how the plot works. You start at the end of the anime, and then it goes through all the past events that led up to that moment. It's literally just life about the way of the samurai and samurai duels and stuff. That's all it is. There's nothing more to it than that. It's very bloody and it's very gory. There's no technical definitive ending because it doesn't tell you who wins in the end on the final battle. I'm pretty sure, though, there's a manga for it that tells you that. Because I looked up theories about, oh, technically who wins this, how's it work, and, you know, people have theorized about it on who wins, but it could go either way. A Silent Voice. So this one was going to go up into the nut category. Late nut category. I'm also missing another one, I just realized. So I Want to Eat Your Pancreas is also another one. Both of those are going to go to the nut category. They're both sad. One of them does have a happier ending than the other. But, Juice, behave yourself, dog. Behave, Juicy, come here. Juice, come here. Come here. Juice, dog. Dog is being a fucking menace right now. But yeah, a silent voice. The girl's deaf, and the dude, kind of is an asshole to her, but then things change when he gets older, and he realizes some shit. He's kind of traumatized himself, too. But yeah, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas is also sad. It would also go up here, but again, I'm missing that one. There's another one called Blue Seed that I'm missing. That would go in the sure why not. It's Blue Seed's just actually it'd probably go in the okay category instead down here. Blue Seed's just kind of annoying to watch a little bit because the girl's screaming constantly, but there are these little like sigil things, almost like symbols. They give you power. That's the basis for that. Sister Princess will go in. I mean, okay. So a dude has like 9 sisters or so. When he goes to this island to live, and he didn't realize it. He learns this. It's comedy based. For the most part, that's about it. It's kind of boring. There is a second season for it, but I don't know if I really want to watch that. I have it in my list, but I really don't know about it. I do know it looks a bit different with graphics. Spirited Away will go into the it's decent category, just because I'm not the biggest fan of Studio Ghibli films, and Spirited Away was the first one I watched, and the storyline is great, the art's great. The art in the Studio Ghibli films is just great in the first place. But I didn't really care too much for the story. I kind of like a lot more action stuff in some of my anime. But Spirited Away is a pretty decent watch. Steel Angel Kurumi. This one is decent. It's a very long anime though. There's a lot of episodes. Boy finds a mech girl. He then takes ownership of her because he activates her. And she's just like all over him and loves him and stuff, It's got some romance in it, comedy, it has action. I think there's a couple scenes that are kind of off-putting with how they speak to the kid. But other than that, it's fine. Steins Gate. Steins Gate goes into like full-fledged nut category. If you like science, you like time travel, and you like how that shit works and paradoxes and parallel shit, Steins Gate's for you. It's got some action in it. It's got a lot of storyline. It's great. It is fucking great. And the guy who voices Okabe actually voices a lot of people in anime and video games, specifically Smite. He voices a lot of the skins that are in Smite for a lot of the gods and other games. It's great. It's great. He's got a great voice. Taisho Baseball Girls. I gotta move this up slowly with the rest of everything. Taisho Baseball Girls is also a nut. It's another underdog baseball story anime. It's a really old one, kind of, though. It's about after some of the war stuff, and I believe it was China, and these girls want to make a baseball team, but obviously they're poor, they don't have the means to do it, but they make do with what they have, and they actually make a baseball league for themselves. Another nice underdog story. Ah, yes, the Soul Taker. The Soul Taker is a sure why not. Some of the animations in Soul Taker is unique. Again, it came before Nurse Witch Kamugi art did and everything. The storyline is very confusing. Honestly, if you don't have someone to sit there and explain it to you, or you don't have like notes like explaining what certain situations are, Soul Taker is not going to be for you. It's going to be very confusing, very out of the ordinary, and it's... I will say the worst thing about it is the flashing lights. They definitely need a huge flashing light in Seizure Warning with the amount of lights that flash and flicker in this series. Because it is horrendous for that fact. Trinity Blood goes in the I mean okay category. Trinity Blood is more vampire stuff. The whole reason I didn't like Trinity Blood for the most part is because it's basic. It does get boring in scenes. And honestly, if the dude just used his power in the beginning, it could have literally stopped the whole anime and been done. Like, it could have just solved the entire problem they had. You still have no clue what happened in Soul Taker? Okay, so what happened in Soul Taker... Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen it. So, what happens in Soul Taker? As a young boy, his mom basically tried to kill him, okay? Because he has this mysterious power, but he didn't know he had the power yet, okay? She also tried to do it to his sister. His sister was basically sent away, and she lived as a quote alien. Now I say quote alien because she pretended to be an alien on the moon. for other reasons. Now, he's trying to, like, find out where his sister is and everything, and why all these people who look like his sister keep coming to him and claiming they're his sister. Because they're fragments of her. When she was stabbed and she released her power, fragments of her body were thrown out throughout the world and everything, and that's why there are characters that look like her constantly coming to him. But he realizes this. There is a group called the Hospital Organization. They're also mutants. They have separate powers and stuff just like he does. Okay, one of those mutants happens to be his father. It's the one who controls the hospital. They pull a Darth Vader moment, and they have a fight, and he goes, "I am your father," and he's like, "What? No way!" You know, they kind of do that kind of thing. And so he faces off against him, and he does win. There's also the girl whose name is Kamugi, and I forget the other dude's name, but they're helping him find his sister and get to where they need to be. We're gonna flash forward throughout the series to where they're on the moon and stuff, where his sister is on the space station, okay? She's been messing around with the people on the space station, acting like she's the alien who landed there. She actually killed the alien and was just living inside his body. Kind of weird, yeah? Well, the girl who's running the space station, like she's the sister of the dude who's helping Kamugi, and the guy with the power, and he wants to kill her. Alright, that's his motive, alright? Eventually they find where his sister is and everything, and his sister and main character, they have the ability to create alternate worlds inside their own minds to where they can travel to and no one else can bother them. His sister creates one so they can be alone. She wants to marry her brother for some reason. I don't know why. It's never classified as to why, except for other than trying to make the strongest mutant, apparently. He doesn't want to do that. So he lives in the fake world with her for a while with, their mother and father and everything, even though technically they're both dead. He eventually says, no more of that, and he absorbs her essence and her soul inside of him so she can no longer harm the world. He then goes out into the mountains, makes his own little realm where his mother is alive, and it's just the two of them. Kamugi and the other guy want to know where he is and if he's alive. They know he's alive, but they know they'll never find him. That's Soul Taker. We have Vampire Hunter D, the movie. So, I didn't really care for it. The art style was unique in Vampire Hunter D. There wasn't a lot of dialogue, though, which is what I didn't like, and there wasn't too much action in it. It was just kind of a slow burn. Vexile can go in the who the fuck category. It's a CG anime. It's mecha, and it was just garbage. It was just complete garbage mecha action anime that's CG. Virgin Fleet goes in the okay category. Virgin Fleet is all about these women going to be pilots for a war. There's a lot of crap in it, like all the men are just like, oh, women can't do this, they can't do this, you shouldn't be here, and that really is like very off-putting for an anime. I understand they tried to make that part of the story to establish that part of it, like that's how the time was when it was made and all that, like the time era. And I was like, yeah, but it kind of sucks listening to that throughout the whole anime. I mean, it's only like a couple OVA episodes, but it's also underdog for the women. They do succeed in their trials and everything, though, which was really good for them. So they did very good in that story-esque. Vampire Knight is a sure why not. It wasn't too bad to me. What can I say? Vampires and humans in schools day and night. And some of them, there's two protectors. There's a little incesty stuff, which is why it's a little weird. It's basically Vampire Knight is what a lot of people watch in middle school for like anime stuff. So it's like middle school anime cringe practically is how a lot of people go throughout it. It wasn't too bad to me. We have We Without Wings. We Without Wings is going to be put in the It's Decent category. Juice, I'm gonna need you to stop whining, dog. I think Juice needs to go the certain place, and I'll take her out after I'm done. But We Without Wings, there's no way for me to explain this without technically spoiling what's wrong with the kid. So, spoiler alert, in 3, 2, 1. The kid gave himself a multiple personality disorder and created these different personas that he has. Like the bad boy, the really smart one, and, whatever else he has. And they come out during different times of the day and around different people. So different people see him in different ways. The problem with that is everyone who's seen the different form of him, depending on where he's at, has never seen another form of him. So when he's dressed different or acts different, people get very confused. They learn about this towards like the ending and stuff, and you learn how he gave himself a disorder and why. Well, it's because he's traumatized and there were other things that were going on. But it's a good watch. I was very confused at first because I didn't realize that's what would happen to him, and that's what was going on. But once you learn that, you're like, oh my gosh, everything clicks now. There's a lot of cool characters. The only thing I don't like is one character. There's literally a Lolita character who flashes her panties constantly because she thinks it's funny. That was the only character I didn't like because they did that constantly, and I don't understand why animators do that. So besides the ones we're missing, like Robotech Season 1, Blue Seed, Ghost Stories, this is practically what we have in Kite Liberator. This is what we have so far. I'll probably find an actual file that works for those, and then just, or I might not, I don't really care, I can just put like, oh, you know, I couldn't find these ones, but I'll select what category they're supposed to go into. But, yeah, this is what we have. We have that nice nut category. We have the it's decent category. We have the sure why not. We have the I mean okay, and then we have the who the fuck category of this shit's garbage. You don't ever need to watch it. Like, yeah. There we go. That's gonna be the stream for today. I got some gaming to do. Speaking of gaming, if anyone plays Conan Exiles, we do have a server that we've currently made that I have rented. So, yeah, I'm gonna put that out there. I'm gonna make a channel for that in the Discord. Yes, good stream. Thank you for coming. Yes. I don't know what I'm gonna stream next because I felt like garbage for a while now. For like a week I've been sick, but I figured I'd do this. But yes, there's that. So thank you all for coming to stream. This obviously will be uploaded to YouTube probably the next couple days or so. I know I got to upload some other stuff too. But yes, thank you all for coming. Everyone have a good night, good rest of your night and evening. If anyone's up for gaming, I have games to play and everything. You know, Xbox console user. Alright, I will see you all the next time.